Well, shifting our focus now, Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr has rejected President Donald Trump's assertion that the US gained nothing from NATO. Gahr warned that collective security cannot be reduced to a transactional bargain. At the Oslo Security Conference, the Norwegian leader said that he told Trump that his country lies only 100 kilometers from the world's largest nuclear arsenal aimed at the US, and stressed that Norwegian forces closely monitor Russia's submarine movements and missile tests.
When I met President Trump first time, I said this to him, looked him in his eyes and said it's important for a Norwegian Prime Minister to see a US President in the eyes and say, 100 kilometers from my border is the world's largest nuclear arsenal. And it is not directed against me, Mr. President, but against you. And it makes a difference that we monitor those submarines. We know when they leave port. We know when they test their new weapon systems. And we share it with you and we collaborate on monitoring that.
He also challenged remarks by Donald Trump that NATO allies contribute little to the alliance. In fact, the Norwegian Prime Minister pointed to a major upcoming NATO exercise with 25,000 troops training in northern Norway and Finland, made up of mostly French and US soldiers, as proof of growing cooperation in the Arctic.
And that is why I just have to say it rings completely false when the American president stands in Davos saying that we have given everything to NATO and NATO gives nothing in return. It is wrong.
His comments came as EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas rejected renewed calls for a European army. She warned that creating a separate force alongside NATO could cause dangerous confusion over command and control.
So if you are already part of NATO, and then you can't, create a separate army, besides the army that you already have. Because in terms of crisis, what is the most important is the chain of command. Who gives orders to whom? And if you have, like, the European army and then you have the NATO, then, the ball just falls between the chairs. And this is extremely, extremely dangerous.
Last week, NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte had added his own assessment that Europe cannot defend itself without US support. He told EU lawmakers that military spending would need to more than double for Europe to stand alone. With Norway's Prime Minister reminding President Trump of NATO's vital importance, Europe's security debate is intensifying as leaders clash over proposals for a European army and NATO alliance's role in defending the continent.